going to learn all about hummingbirds, but before we start, take out a piece of paper or a notebook and write down 3 things that you already know about hummingbirds. During the video, check your paper to see if the things that we talk about are the things that you wrote down. Okay, ready to learn more about hummingbirds? First, can you guess which hummingbird I am?
Which of these hummingbirds do I most resemble?
That's right, I'm the rufous hummingbird. Notice that the rufous hummingbird looks different when it's a male or when it's a female. Did you know that the rufous hummingbird is a shared migratory bird? That's right, it spends part of the year in the Willamette watershed and part of the year in the Laja watershed.
Migration is the seasonal movement of animals from one place to another. Let's look at a map of the rufous hummingbird's migration. The rufous hummingbird spends the winter months in Mexico and in the southern part of the United States. This is the area you can see in blue. We begin our journey north as early as January each year, traveling through the yellow parts of the map. By the end of April, we reach the northwestern United States, including Oregon. Some of us will continue, arriving in Canada and Alaska around mid-May. We spend the summer months in the pink part of our range. This is the area where we find mates, reproduce, and raise our babies. Then in July, we start migrating south. Unlike other hummingbirds, we are adapted to below freezing temperatures at night. That's the reason why we can travel so far north. Some of us rufous hummingbirds can fly as many as 4,000 miles all the way from Alaska to Mexico. Pretty amazing for a bird that only weighs less than a nickel. Okay, now pause the video and figure out which time of year can you see rufous hummingbirds where you live. One of the reasons why certain birds migrate is in search of food. Next, we'll learn what hummingbirds eat.
You might already know that we hummingbirds love to eat nectar.
Nectar is a sweet liquid that plants produce to attract hummingbirds, insects, and bats. Pollinators are animals that help with plant reproduction.
Here is a diagram of a flower. A flower has anthers, which are the male parts, and it also has a stigma, which is the female part. The anthers produce pollen. When a hummingbird like me is flying and visiting a flower to drink nectar, sometimes we accidentally get pollen stuck on our beaks or on our face, and we accidentally transfer it to the stigma. Once the pollen reaches the stigma, it travels down the tube and reaches the ovary. Inside the ovary, there are eggs, and when a pollen grain and an egg meet, they actually develop into a seed. Eventually, the whole ovary develops into a fruit. Pretty cool, huh? We hummingbirds also have very long beaks, and we have long tongues that stretch out of our beaks, and that means that we can reach nectar from flowers that other insects and other pollinators can't reach. Did you know that hummingbirds have iridescent feathers? What is iridescence?
Iridescence means that an object changes color with the light or when it moves. Here are some other examples of iridescence in nature. Okay, now it's your turn. Pause the video and look for an object that is iridescent in your house. Take a picture of your object and show it to your teacher. This is the end of Hummingbirds Part 1. Now watch Hummingbirds Part 2.